Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to our Agency Weekly podcast. This week, we are going to talk about makeup and wardrobe, my favorite topic, by the way. We're going to be talking about understanding how wardrobe and makeup can differ from each division, commercial, theatrical, and print, because each division requires different marketing materials that will get you noticed during your audition. Remember that a self-tape does not only that it shows casting your acting abilities, but it also gives them a glimpse of how you fit into that role or that part, how photogenic you are, and while they can be able to see how great you look on camera. Don't forget to also powder that shiny nose and that oily face, because that sometimes can give the impression that you're nervous and you're somewhat not prepared, okay? So just little makeup tips or just a tour like that, it will make such a huge difference. Another key resource, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Pinterest, but if you have not already done so, we're gonna be sharing with you guys the Pinterest app of Pinterest is like a visual board where you can pretty much gather visual images, where us as the agency, we have quite a few mood boards for male and female with some really great suggestion of tips and wardrobes of what to wear suiting for that role as well as different age category. And also, last but not least, quick reminder to pay attention to your self-tape detailed instruction, okay? Every self-tape requires you to do something different. So it's not a one-size-fit-all type of self-tape. But it is very important that wardrobe is going to be the key essential. It should be wear clothes that represent who you are and what you stand for. Now I'm gonna have Amanda to take it over so she can quickly touch upon some makeup and wardrobe suggestions.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you guys some quick overview and some quick tips on makeup and wardrobe. So I'll kick it off with makeup. Some things that you want to keep in mind is that when you are putting makeup on for either an in-person audition or a self-tape audition at home, you want to stay away from like darker colors because it can tend to make your features look a little bit smaller, and it can also be a little bit distracting. You want it to be very natural. So light colors that kind of just highlight your natural features is always going to be the best. For ladies, if you want to put a little bit of like white eyeshadow in the corner of your eyes, it helps make your eyes a little bit bigger. I'm Asian, I've got little eyes, so that really helps. Next is you want to consider your foundation, concealer, and lip color. So for our ladies, if you want to wear like full coverage foundation, we definitely recommend that, especially when we start going out on auditions again, and say you have like 5 auditions lined up in one day. You want to make sure that foundation lasts, and you want to make sure that it is buildable, so that if certain things, like if it's really hot outside like it is today, then you want to be able to touch up that makeup really fast. For guys, just some simple concealer, like for your under eyes or any sort of blemishes, will always be good. And always be aware of like maybe washing out. So think about the color that you want to bring back to your face, whether it's like a little bit of blush or a little bit of lipstick. But always make sure you want to keep it as natural as possible. And next is going to be wardrobe. One of the biggest things with wardrobe is that you want to see if you can find something that's a little bit more form-fitting. This way, your body proportions can be showcased and they can see what you look like. If it is something, if you're going for a role that maybe doesn't really call for something form-fitting, what we would suggest is actually layering. So this way you have something form-fitting underneath, and then you can layer with something that showcases more to your character. For example, if you're auditioning for like a bank teller, then you want to wear like a blazer and glasses to showcase that you're like that professional vibe, that professional type. And you don't want to show up in like a really short skirt or, you know, flip-flops and short shorts. You definitely want to cater what you're wearing to the role that you're auditioning for while being mindful of showcasing your body proportions. Next, I want to touch base on accessories. Accessories are something that can be really helpful if they add to your outfit and if they add to the character that you're going for. So you want to make sure that if you do decide to accessorize, that it's not too distracting. It's not too big and it's not too dangly. It's something very simple, and it's subtle, and it really adds. So for example, if it's like a really long scarf, or if it's maybe like earrings for someone that's a little bit more trendy, then that would be always like a good option to do. Next, some like cool little tips and tricks in terms of like how to adjust your clothing would be if you ever have anything and you want to appear a little bit longer. So like for your pants, if you want to bring your pants to about 3/4 of a length, like roll it up so you showcase your ankles, it actually gives the illusion that your legs are a little bit longer. I'm vertically challenged and I do this and I know that it helps. So definitely a cool thing to remember. This also works for your sleeves. So like if your shirt is cut a little bit and you're showcasing a little bit of skin, it can give the illusion that your proportions are a little bit longer. Next, if you're kind of in a pinch and you don't really know what to wear, a good option is always going to be your trusty V-neck. It looks good on everybody. It's easily accessorized and you can easily add to it. So you can easily make it something that's really casual and turn it into something that's a little bit more business, a little bit more trendy, and it's very, very versatile. So if you kind of are in a pinch, you can always just grab your V-neck. And next, something to also consider is if you're dressing for multiple auditions, or say you have to audition after your shift at work and the role that you're auditioning for is not the same as what you wear to work, then what we would suggest is layering. So for example, if you are working in an office and you have business casual clothing and you're going into an audition where you have to be a fitness instructor, layer those clothes underneath. So you have your sports bra and you have your yoga pants underneath. That way, once your audition comes, it's super easy for you to change. And also, if you have multiple auditions, if you wear your tightest fitting clothing underneath that, then you would be able to kind of layer like a blazer or a jacket over everything so that you can kind of switch between looks really, really fast. Sorry.
Yeah, so Amanda, while we're on that topic, I just wanted to see, does everybody see the different slides that Amanda is seeing? Because I'm just looking at the exact same slides. So I wasn't sure it's just my computer. Okay, as long as you guys see it, then that's really all that matters.
Okay.
Yeah, mine was frozen too.
It was frozen? Okay, because I was just looking at the exact same slide, which is the one with the makeup. I didn't see everything. So I was just curious. Did you guys see it?
Here, I'm trying to see. So it's not wardrobe now. Do you guys see the wardrobe one?
If you guys are not seeing it, then make sure you guys put just let us know in the group chat so that we can immediately fix it. Because we do want to be able to make sure that we have these videos properly set up so that we can just easily upload them up on YouTube, share with everybody. So the ones that actually miss out for this week's session, you can easily reference it by going onto our blog or uploading it onto our YouTube page. So were everybody able to see the slides now? Everything's okay?
Yeah, here, I'm gonna change it again to see if everyone, so now does everyone see the changed? Now I'm talking about transformation bags.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah? Okay, cool. So, oh, Abigail says she only sees the wardrobe. Abigail, are you good? Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, if everyone's good, I'll start talking about transformation bags. So this is another thing that we kind of want to bring up. Something that you can consider is having your little go-to bag. And this is really good if you're like in a pinch, or say we pitched you for an audition and then you wake up that day and you have like 3 auditions that you didn't know about the day before, but now you can go out and you have 3 chances to get booked for a job, then you can quickly grab your transformation bag and it can have all of your basic necessities for you to totally kill it at your audition and look awesome while you do it. So some things that we would like to suggest for you to have in this bag is going to be a fitness outfit, because it's really, really common to have like fitness roles. And for women, it's going to be yoga pants, a sports bra, clean tennis shoes, make sure they're clean, and like a workout jacket or something on top to layer over it. For guys, it can be a cotton t-shirt or a muscle tank shirt, some sort of hoodie, and then shorts. Or you can have those like joggers as well, something that looks very put together or very much like athleisure. Next, we would say have an outfit that's catered more towards like your millennial trendy casual wear. I'm going to show you guys some examples here so you guys can see. So for guys, this is kind of like a good gauge. So for like this one over here, this is going to be your more casual look depending on what vibe you want to go for. And this one's going to be a little bit more of your like trendy business casual, but anything that's within this realm would also be like a good go-to outfit to have in that transformation bag so that you're like quick and ready and good to go for your audition. And here's some examples for women. So your clean sneakers, jeans, you can see how it's tight underneath, so you can see body proportions, but you're layering on top to add a little bit more style. And then I think with this, Kim is going to talk a little bit more about adjusting your wardrobe depending on like specs specific to age range, if Kim wants to talk about that.
Yeah, and by the way, guys, I know that some of these visuals it seems to be very trendy, very youthful in the 20s, but after this, we do have mood boards for different age categories and different styles. So if this is not really your style, there are a lot of other different styles catering towards your personality. So some of these visuals that we're sharing with you, it doesn't mean that, okay, this is what everybody should wear, but if whatever you're wearing, it needs to feel comfortable. And when you're looking in the mirror, you feel like, wow, I look good. And I also still look like myself. So that's important. And that's why our next section, we're going to be diving into image consulting and knowing your character. Luckily, I took the image consultant certification class when I was in New York for 2 years at FIT, because I can say I've learned a lot. What if I tell you that you can look good instantly? It doesn't matter what type of size you are, body shape you are. You just have to really understand what works for you and what is your personality and your style. Okay, so let's just say for image consultant, it helps you develop the confidence so that you can style and dress with your individual style and character. It gives you the power to let your personal brand shine. A powerful first impression is made within seconds, okay? But it will last a lifetime, just like your self-tape. So we want to make sure we get it done right, okay? Whether you realize it or not, you have a personal brand. And your brand is that image of feeling that people recognize about you and that we all love and want to see more of, okay? With a stylish look that fits your lifestyle, career, and personality, you would be able to express yourself and understand how you can fit into that role you are auditioning for. Some of the few most common different characters, personalities, and styles are classic, sporty, the creative, and edginess. It is important to understand who you are as of a person and what roles fit you naturally. We're gonna show some examples of, like, we have a talent, okay, that currently fit very well with the mom, business, professional roles. But she has been acting and modeling for her whole life. So of course, when she was younger, her look was completely different. She's still always beautiful and very glamorous, right? But once her character and vibe started to change, she decided that to simplify her hair to fit more into the mom type roles. Why? Because now she is in her 30s. On the left photo, it was taken when she was in her 20s, where her hair was a lot more glamorous. She has more of a youthful look. She's beautiful. She's modelly, that sometimes too beautiful most of the times for the roles. You know, sometimes when you see that breakdown, they're not looking for the modelly type, so that means not too beautiful, right? The right photo, she is now a real mom in her 30s, so that she fit into that spec a lot better because she is a real mom. She is in her 30s now. She's learned to kind of let go of that glamorous, big, beautiful hair, glamorous hair, makeup all the time type of look, because she's no longer in her 20s. So once when she able to kind of give that overall image makeover look, you can see that she's now, she now is a lot more approachable. The clothing that she wears is also more mature and less modelly type. She looks more relatable and can fit in more roles with the mom in the IT tech type of world. And I can tell you she's killing it. She's probably one of our #1 actors right now. So that's just want to be able to kind of give you an example of like understanding your image and your character. As I was, creating this week topic, I was just like, wow, there's just so much information that I really want to share with you about understanding, breaking it down to the different character and the different personality traits you have, because it coincides with the style that you should probably create for yourself as well. We're probably gonna, take on maybe a different session about that, but we will touch upon that a lot more towards the end of this video. Now I'm gonna have Amanda to just quickly touch upon the TV and film and what to wear in that division.
Yeah, so when it comes to TV and film, a good rule of thumb is always going to be wear clothes that caters to the role that you're auditioning for. So just be mindful of who that character is and what that character would wear, and then tying your personal style to it. So for example, you can see like if you're going for a role that's a lawyer, you're going to want to dress in a suit, something that looks really nice and put together, versus if you're going to go for something like an undercover cop and you want to be like in a leather jacket, it looks super cool. So this is some good examples here. Or if you're a socialite going to like a cocktail party and you're in a cocktail dress and you want to look really put up together, then this would be a good example of what to wear. And these are good examples because you can see how they are all different roles, and they all fit each person very, very well. So even though the role is different, you still want it to cater your personal style to that role. And that's something really important because you definitely want to feel comfortable and confident in what you're wearing. Next is you don't really want to go overboard with wearing intense costumes. So if it's, for example, I would say like a cop, like if you're going to audition for a cop, you don't have to go out and buy like a cop outfit with a badge and like go all out with stuff like that. But just wear stuff that kind of caters toward that and feels very similar, but you don't have to go over the top like that. Just put yourself in that role as much as you can, but still look natural. And next is going to be makeup. So when you do audition and do a self-tape or go to an in-person audition for TV and film, it's going to be very similar to what I mentioned earlier. You want to keep it very natural. You definitely don't want to be washed out. So you definitely want to bring color when it's necessary, but don't overload on the color. So don't wear anything that's too dark, no really dark, distracting lipsticks, no heavy eyeliner. Really, like I said, cater to the role so you know exactly, so you can show the casting director that like I not only can act, but I also look like this person as well, and so they can see you in that role as you are performing. And then I'm going to bring it over to Kim, and she's going to talk a little bit more about how this fits into the commercial world.
Yeah. So commercial and theatrical, it's not that much difference. I mean, it's you know, for wardrobe, it is important that you got to be able to learn how to adapt. This means depending on the specs of the role that you want to adjust your wardrobe accordingly. That calls for a commercial. If you caught in for an audition, let's say again for a mom role, then dress like a mom and not show up in stiletto heels and tight jeans. Wear wardrobe button-down shirts, pants, light everyday makeup. What a mom would really wear. And we do have some examples of some really great mom looks in our Pinterest mood board as well. So we can most definitely share with you what that Pinterest mood board would look like. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean that you should not be going out for mom roles if you're not a real mom. I didn't say that. I'm just saying that you need to be able to just make sure to be prepared to come show up dressing like that role of what a mom would really wear, and not what you as a mom, what you think you should wear. It should be whatever that's more mainstream, that's more going back down to the basics. Unless if they're asking for trendy millennial moms of having your own style, then yeah, I say go for it, right? Now, common roles in how to dress for them, especially for commercial, because these are the most very common roles. They're always asking for this. And if you can nail these wardrobe looks and techniques with makeup, then I can assure you, you would be going out for even many more. Now, if you are with our agency, I mean, the ones that are constantly auditioning and has open availability, you guys know that you guys a lot of times get called in for last minute, same day auditions where we are able to share that with you. Hey, you guys have 3 auditions today. And these are the different looks. So make sure you are always prepared, which is the mom roles, right? Mom roles are very common. Dad roles, smart look, which is the professor and IT tech teacher role. Amanda, do we have any samples of those?
I don't think we do, but I think if everyone logs onto the Pinterest after this, we can showcase.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I think we do have some visuals in the Pinterest, but yes. But I mean, these are most definitely the most common roles. Sports player, basketball, volleyball, football. If you have any of those sports, to make sure those are also in your audition bag. The edgy, creative roles and types. If your natural style is edgy, then make sure you have some of those outfits so that you can kind of just really layer it and quickly have your own sense of style. Skateboarder, parkour, stunts, precision driver. Now those are all, just by listening to it, it's like the edgy type. So the type of wardrobe you would normally wear would be leather jackets, right? Ripped jeans, something that's very edgy and very trendy, but yet cool and relaxed. Blue collar, professional doctors, nurses, bank tellers. The fitness is going to be more of like the MMA, the boxers, yoga. Every female should have a yoga outfit for sure. Chef is very well is very common, and also if you are an artist, a musician, or a singer, then make sure you have some photos and also some of those items in your audition bag ready to go, because those are the most like constantly are always calling for a real musician and artist. And also a video gamer. What does the video gamer looks like? I guess it's whatever you're wearing right now, of like being at home in the comfort of your own home, playing video games. Okay, so now Amanda is going to touch upon the print.
Yeah, so this is an example. I know we talked about the digital Polaroid last week, so I kind of wanted to showcase an example live here so you guys can all see it. And I know we shared it on our blog as well, so after this is over, you guys can always reference this. But for print, it's kind of rare, but sometimes clients will ask models to go to like auditions or what they call go-sees. This way clients can see what the model looks like in person. If you are invited to one of these, you definitely want to make sure that you wear all black. It's very, very specific with modeling. It's all black, it's tight fitted so that you can see your body proportions and what you look like, as well as for makeup, it should be very, very natural. Like we've been talking about natural, but this is like a whole next level of natural. It's like that whole like no makeup look. That's what they want, because they want to be able to see your face. So it should be, your hair should be back in a ponytail. They should be able to see your face, and tight, form-fitting black clothing so they can see your body proportions. And for print, some things that you want to think about is your portfolio. If you really want to like go into modeling and you want to develop your portfolio, some things that you can think about are test shoots. So this is really, really good. If you're just starting out and you're new, then you can try to find test shoots where we get photographers to shoot you, and then you will help the photographer build their portfolio as well. And usually this is done as a trade. So both of you guys are kind of just helping each other out. And how we set these up is through the digital Polaroid. So usually we'll send out digital Polaroids to photographers, and they'll see like, oh, this is really interesting. Like I want to shoot this model, and that's how those things are set up. So it's a really good opportunity for people who want to develop their portfolio and have a more wider range in terms of modeling. And then for clothing that you want to have when you are taking these test shoots or when you are trying to develop your portfolios, think about the different types of brands that you want to put yourself into, and make sure that there's a variety as well, so you can showcase to a client that like, hey, I can be this like super edgy person, but I can also be the super trendy business person, and I can also be athletic, and how you can put yourself into those roles and look different, but great all at the same time. So those are some things that you want to be aware of in terms of the print. And I think Kim, I'll bring it over to Kim, and she's going to go ahead and wrap it up with some final tips and tricks.